Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Basement Card Collector. Today's video is going to be another episode of my magic number series. This video will be the magic numbers of the MLB, and you can see it there, the 3000 Strikeout Club. I do love reading about the stats of baseball and football and basketball. I just love seeing the clubs. I love seeing the players in that club. And so what I have here today is going to be about the strikeout. 3,000 strikeouts is a very large number. Do you know how many players in the MLB have hit that 3,000 strikeout club? The answer is 15. If you were to try and name some of those 15 players, how many would you know? How many would you come up with? Well, I was reading and looking online and just reading about the different stories that are out there, and I found a link that I will include in the description below. It's just that. It has the blanks of all 19 3,000 strikeout clubs, plus the players that have more than 3,000. We'll get into that as well. And once I had found this link, I clicked on it, and it's really kind of a cool thing. It has all the blanks, the years that they entered the strikeout club, and in order. So you type in the name, if it's right, it pops into that place. I was able to correctly come up with 16 of 19. And then when I saw the 3 that I missed, they have a 3-minute timer, I believe. I was kind of mad at myself for not getting the 3 that I didn't know. So let me give you a couple interesting little facts about this club. There are 19 members. Only 3 of them are left-handed. I thought that was kind of odd. 14 of the players in this club, of 14 of 19, are in the Hall of Fame. Only two players are active. One player, I thought this was pretty cool. One MLB player was the 3,000 strikeout for two of the club members, Cesar Geronimo. And we'll get into those guys in just a moment as well. There are 2 players that are pretty close on the active list. Zach Greinke and Clayton Kershaw are like 200 and 350 strikeouts shy of the 3,000 mark. When you think of pitchers that are for sure on that 19-player list, do you think of a guy named Cy Young? Yeah, I did. I'm thinking the guy has the most wins ever, 500 wins. And these are my official Cy Young collection. I don't quite have anything back to his day, but check out what... Now, when you think of Cy Young, he is not on the 3,000 strikeout club. I couldn't believe that. So when I was reading and digging, and this Fleer Greats card is really cool. If you can see this, he has a couple years there at the early stages, over 400 innings. And look at his strikeout total. His high total for strikeouts was 210. He just had about 2,800 strikeouts. So when you think of Cy Young and 7,300 innings, he struck out just shy of the 3,000 club. So for Cy Young, he's not in the he's not in this 3,000 strikeout club. He never won a Cy Young. I mean, come on. I'm just kidding. No. But all those wins, and he did not have the 3,000 strikeout club. I thought that was very, very interesting. I will also show you the players in this club. We'll go kind of quick, but in 19th place, see if some of the names I show you, I did go through and dig out a card of each player, and I want to show them to you. And I would like you to see, hey, did you come up with these players? Of the 19 players, did you know in the 19th place is a man named Mr. John Smoltz? 3,084. And I just found this card for cool factor. What a pitching staff. If you were around back then watching these Braves, I mean, come on. Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, a guy named Greg Maddux, and Steve Avery, who really wasn't that bad of a player himself. John Smoltz, number 19. A number 18 coming in, CC Sabathia. I found this really young looking CC, a very young, no strikeouts yet, just hasn't cracked the big leagues yet. And then I found the card, which I think is a pretty cool card. Tops when he actually hit that 3,000 number. Cool landscape card. You can see 2019 is when he joined the club. Right just ahead of him, should be a Hall of Famer, but is not, Mr. Curt Schilling. And again, I chose this for one reason, the sweet mustache. Look at that collar poking through there too. Come on. And this is kind of what I recall him in my early collecting days. I remember reading on the backs of his cards, and he was getting 300 strikeouts in a season, really before it was cool, in those early 90s. Curt Schilling. Next on the list, number 16. I did get him. He is in the Hall of Fame, Mr. Bob Gibson. And I just pulled out, I love this Greats of the Game. Got the auto of Bob Gibson, pretty cool, in 1972, which just looks like a Bob Gibson should look. That's what he looks like in my mind. Right in front of Bob Gibson with 3,154, Mr. Pedro Martinez. Early 90s Fleer insert cards, smoking heat with those early Expo teams. And again, I found a minor league card of him. He just looks like he knows what's going on. Pedro Martinez, Boston Red Sox. Later, he bounced around, I think, with the Mets at the end. But I like these young versions. He could just tell he was going to be a beast at those early years as well. Pedro Martinez, number 15 and 14th. Hall of Famer, first Cubby on the list, Mr. Fergie Jenkins. I have a few cards of his, but I thought I'd pick something more random than just the normal. So this is the swell card. Just love that Chicago Cubby uniform. Lots of good things to like about this card. But Fergie Jenkins, 3,192. I thought this was strange. One of the active players, I could not find one of his cards, Mr. Max Scherzer. He's not in the Hall of Fame. He is active, but he does sit right today at 3,193 cards. I actually have him in some sets, but I did not have any of him to pull to show for this video, which I thought was kind of bizarre. The other active player, I did find a couple real quick. Justin Verlander. Cool Astro. I like that jersey with that stripe. Old Upper Deck Masterpiece card. And kind of a cool off-brand, a Topps Bazooka rookie card. But that's pretty cool. Looks he's out in the woods or something. I don't know what he's doing out there, but Justin Verlander coming in. Currently sits at 12th place, 3,198. Moving on up, number 11, 3,342, Mr. Phil Niekro. Our first knuckleballer. 86 Topps. That's what I remember him looking like. He looks like he could be someone's grandpa, and here he is pitching. Oddly enough, check out his grip. Not a knuckleball. And I chose this card just because look at the probably knuckleball. Look at that smile on his face. He's like, you're not going to touch this. Bugs Bunny knuckleball coming up. Phil Niekro at 11th place. Did you know that? He's on 11th in the 11th place all time on the strikeout list. 10th place, my first favorite Cubby pitcher, Mr. Greg Maddux. Here he is also getting his 3,000 strikeout. I tried to find some of those cards that actually mention when he broke into the club, 2005. So when you think of Greg Maddux, you don't think of flame-throwing 99 miles an hour, but he could get some strikeouts when he needed to. So I picked the 3,000 strikeout card. Had to go with another one of those inserts in those late years. Look at the reflection, the shine, Topps Chrome, Greg Maddux, Lords of the Diamond. And then I thought I would also throw out this card just because might be the first card I ever owned of this Donruss rookie, rated rookie. I don't know what I was doing to this thing, if it had to, like fix. It's just probably one of the most beat up cards I own, but I love it because it's my man. For those Cubbies, all-time mustache team for sure. 1987 Donruss, Mr. Greg Maddux as well. He sits in 10th place. Did you know that? Greg Maddux, number 10 all time. Moving on up the list, one of the first flame-throwing pitchers from long, long ago, Mr. Walter Johnson. And again, as a kid that started in 1989, I feel like this is what the guy looked like. And all the cards that you see with him, he always looks like an old man. And I don't know, but look at the stats on this guy. Almost 6,000 innings. He has 3,500 strikeouts. So Mr. Walter Johnson, we'll put him right there. Moving into 8th place, Mr. Gaylord Perry. Got a cool 79 tops just because the cool Padre uniform. And this really, I think this 81, the TCMA cards. So, but Gaylord Perry, again, he kind of goes in that Phil Necro picture in my mind. Just always looked old. I mean, I'm sure there's a youthful card of him out there somewhere. I just don't have it. That's Gaylord Perry, 8th place. In the 9th place, a pitcher that I did not know was so high on the list, Mr. Don Sutton. He's a 300 game winner. And I was really pumped up when I found this in my my small collection of vintage, the 1969. Look at that. He even has an older look then. But when I see him, I just think of big puffy hair, Mr. Don Sutton. He has 3,574 strikeouts. In 6th place, I didn't realize I had 2 different. Now you can see they've been folded once or twice, but the old 3D 72 and 71. And then I just picked this up at the last card shop visit, the 71 tops of Tom Seaver. Super cool. He is in 6th place. Did you know the top 5, the 5th place all-time strikeout pitcher, Bert Blyleven. So I pulled a 76 card and one of those cool Diamond Kings card. But did you know that? 3,701 strikeouts. And he is going to be the most strikeouts in the 3,000 Strikeout Club before we jump over to 4,000 strikeouts. There are 3 different pitchers that are in the 4,000 Strikeout Club. Do you know who they are? Relatively recent players too, if you let's go. Moving into 4th place all time, one of the left-handers, Mr. Steve Carlton. And again, I tried to pull a couple cards that just aren't. There's the Swell, here's the Kmart card, and then also I just picked this up, and I really love this card, the 67 tops. Mr. Steve Carlton in the 4,000 strikeouts. He is sitting in 4th place with 4,136. Moving into 3rd place all time, 4,672. He is one of the non-Hall of Fame members, Mr. Roger Clemens. Here with the 85 tops. Pretty basic, but it's just a classic card to have. And then I felt this is also one of my favorite cards, favorite little sets from the 90s. K-Man with those like exploding graphics behind him. Roger Clemens 1991 score. Just kind of a cool card. He is in 3rd place on the all-time list. 4,672. Moving into 2nd place, Mr. Randy Johnson, lefty. The other lefty of the group, CC Sabathia, Steve Carlton, and the big unit, Mr. Randy Johnson. And I did find a card here. This is him passing Roger Clemens into 2nd place all time as a Diamondback. Again, early 90s insert cards, Strikeout King, just like looks like 1990. And then I am obligated to show 89 tops whenever I can. Again, all-time mustache team. 89 Donruss, 89 tops, Mr. Randy Johnson, and the only member, and this is who you think of when you think of strikeouts, the only member of the 5,000 Strikeout Club, you guessed it, Mr. Nolan Ryan. I did receive this a long time ago from a buddy, one of these kind of postcard things, and it didn't, you can see, it looks like it might be some spaghetti, somebody's, something up on the corner of this, but I've seen a couple guys get these back and have these, as far as other Nolan Ryan collectors, and so I love it. I don't really have it in a case, which I probably should, and then I have 4 kind of cool Nolans that I picked out. They're not his rookie cards. This Leaf, Again, early 90s inserts. You have to love those. No-hitter number 7. He was still striking out guys in his 40s. Again, with that shine. The Express. This is from Triple Play. And then here you go. The 1994 Topps Major League. Look at that. His 27 seasons. I got a kick out of this. You get 27 seasons on the back of a card. The font is tiny. But look at all that red. Led the league or tied 5,714 strikeouts. And he played for those 4 teams. Mets, Angels, Astros, and here at the end of his career with the Rangers. And I do have my very real, authentic replica of that rookie card. Jerry Koosman, Nolan Ryan, 68 rookie stars. Just one of those random reprint cards in, I think, the early 90s somewhere. So I still love it. Obviously, it's not the real one, but I still get a kick out of having it. And I have one little bonus fact. If you were trying to collect pitchers in the 3000 / 4000 / 5000 club, there's one set. Can you guess? I have 6 cards here. They all are in the same set. They were all obviously different points in their careers, but the classic 1987 Topps. You could find 6 players out of the 19 members of this club in the 1987 Topps. Check out this. Roger Clemens, the man, Mr. Nolan. Here he is, Chicago White Sox, Steve Carlton. If you'd forgotten that, he kind of tailed off with a couple teams at the end, and one of them were the White Sox. Here's Mr. Don Sutton on the Angels. Mr. Phil Niekro, again, if you can see him, he just looks like he's been old like forever, and I kind of feel bad for the guy. And again, not with a knuckleball, kind of strange. And the coolest card for sure. This is in the Topps traded, of course, but the Greg Maddux rookie is in the 1987 Topps. So just a little side note on the 3000 hit clubbers. You can find several of them scattered through the Topps cards, of course. I will mix in this Nolan, not real rookie card, but I still like the look of it. There you go, folks. This will conclude another magic numbers of the MLB, the 3000 Strikeout Club. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.